had some very clear-cut plans for the film, not least of all having a good script, but it meant that we were, there was some, Sam and all of us, but together there were things that we wanted to achieve. And I genuinely feel like we've sort of achieved them, and thankfully many, many more. You have to take the time and the effort to find the right people who are enthusiastic, who are not here just to sort of do a turn and leave. And we've just been blessed with every character, whether it's Rory or it's Ben or it's Ola, it's and I'm just not forgetting Ralph Fiennes and Javier Bardem, Judi Dench. I mean, it's and then the casting of the girls with Naomi and Berenice, finding two exceptionally beautiful girls who are very serious actresses and are, intelligent enough to know what's required of them in a movie and more, and they bring so much. And for me on the set, it's just been Gary Powell's come back in, we've got Alexander Witt on second unit, and that sort of combination means that we're going to sort of do something special, and all of us, and Gary especially, has sort of had, has felt the need that we need to push this movie as far as we could, and we've always relied on the fact that we do things for real in Bond movies, and that's just the way it is, and if there's CGI, it's just to help out as opposed to sort of creating the scene, and I think standing on top of a train, travelling at 50 kilometres an hour, fighting with Oliver Pace going over a 300-foot drop was probably a standout moment. Action!
Standing in the stocks at midday. Who's antiquated now?
For Christ's sake, listen to yourself. We're a democracy and we're accountable to the people we're trying to defend. We can't keep working in the shadows. There are no more shadows. Do you have any word on Bond?
He's somewhere in the South China Sea.
Is that it?
Well, when you've worked with Bond as long as I have, you realise that somewhere in the South China Sea is precise intelligence. I thought this was a very, very exciting story. I was also very pleased that, as there was a danger that we weren't going to make this one, that in the end it did happen. I'm going to find whoever did this. It is lovely to do. It's a thrilling part to play. And you get to, to be a huge figure of authority, and you get to boss him about, and there is a very special relationship, I think, between Bond and M.
Can you get into a better position? Negative. There's no time. I'm going to lose them.
Take the shot.
I can't.
Take the bloody shot!
I know Sam very well, because he directed The Cherry Orchard when he was very, very young, about the second or third thing he did. So I know him very well, and we have a very, very good working relationship, because in The Cherry Orchard, one day I said, I hold this over him all the time, so I don't mind telling you. I said, Sam, do you think I could possibly do this a slightly different way. I just want to try this and see if it will make a difference. And he went, yeah, you can, but it won't work, he said. And she said, so I got my own back. He asked me to do something. I said, well, you can, it won't work. So it's a very, very good relationship, a very good working relationship indeed. And I think the first thing when I knew I was playing it, I think he rang me and said, I see a lot of lace lingerie and something like that.
Forgive me, but that sounds like an evasion.
Forgive me, but why am I here?
3 months ago, you lost the computer drive containing the identity of almost every NATO agent embedded in terrorist organizations across the globe. A list which, in the eyes of our allies, never existed.
Well, in my job it pays to know what your allies aren't telling you.
Well, now they're not telling us anything, so if you'll forgive me, I think you know why you're here.
Bond is a kind of institution, and everybody you ask has different memories and favourites about the Bond films and bits about the Bond films that they remember and you remember seeing, and you know, and then they'll suddenly come up on the television. And they've been actually on the radio recently. Toby Stevens has been playing Bond. So they're enduring. They're enduring, and they are. They're part of our British film scene.
Silva is an ex-agent that used to work for MI6 and for M, and he's angry. He's angry because he was betrayed. So in a sense, Sam and I talk about the idea of being a person who feels betrayed by his own mother, and all this rage and all this rage that goes with it, because he has been suffering that betrayal for years that almost end up with his life. So he wants some revenge, and he comes back very strongly with a very well thought plan, very well put together kind of plan in order to end up with M's life. And I think it's great because it's something personal. It's not about destroying the world. It's about really having a very, very focus on one person that he wants to eliminate. So that helps me to have more kind of a realistic circumstances to work and put it out there. There's some physicality in it that you have to be prepared to do. Of course, mine compared to Daniel's is nothing. I mean, every time I saw him doing these stunts or these action scenes, I was really impressed by how easy he does it and how demanding they are. I mean, it's a lot of work. You have to be prepared for that and committed to that, and also unafraid of doing it, which in the moment where they say, okay, rolling, from the outside, I go like, Jesus, if I were you, I won't be in that room, or I would be doing that or that. But I did a little bit, but of course nothing in comparison with what Daniel has done. I think this one has a depth because the story of M, the relationship of her with Daniel, with James Bond, and the entrance of this other man who really was, in one way, in love with her, but also feel deeply betrayed by her. So there's this triangle that really works on an emotional level. And that on top of the big scope of a James Bond movie is very special. You know, it makes the story a little bit, I don't know, more solid in the emotional way of it. You were smaller than I remember.
Whereas I barely remember you at all.
Strange. For me, it feels just like yesterday. I had the chance to work with him like skin to skin, like very close to each other, and I was afraid because there is some physicality in the scene. I didn't want to hurt her, or but she was such a delight. I mean, and she was there, just her looking at your eyes and being relaxed as she is as an actress gives you so much. And she was doing something very difficult, which is to maintain the concentration of me going through the scene so many times, because we have to do it several times. We tried different ways of playing it, and she was there and doing her job like such a lady. I mean, I don't know. It's a gift for an actor to be close to Judi Dench and to be able to play one scene with her.
I couldn't believe it. Actually, I was so over the moon. I've loved the Bond movies for so many years, so I still can't believe it, actually, to be honest. I'm 3 months in. I think it's about 3 months now, and I still can't believe it. I have to pinch myself every day, pretty much. It's amazing. I play Eve. She's a field agent, and she's very independent, very intelligent, very witty, fun, courageous. She's a woman that I admire and would like to be, but I don't have half as much courage as she has. For me, it's just the sense of feeling totally looked after, protected. You know, they're small things. They seem like small things, but they're actually huge to an actor. For instance, most directors will stand over by the monitor and then shout their directions across set, so everybody hears them, and that can be quite brutal sometimes to hear what the director's got to say, and everybody hears it. Sam will never ever do that. He'll always come to you and whisper, you know, his directions to you. It's just very sensitive, very caring. You just feel really taken care of.
I may have a shot. It's not clean. Repeat, I do not have a clean shot. There's a tunnel ahead. I'm going to lose them. Can you get into a better position? Negative, there's no time. Take the shot. I say take the shot. I can't, I may hit Bond. Take the bloody shot.